The Allis Chalmers Company officially got started in 1901. And in the days since then, they've built lots and lots of farm tractors, but they also built industrial machines. And Charlie, you have a great example of a kind of a rare Allis Chalmers industrial.
Yes, it is. It's based off a tractor chassis, but they put a torque converter in it and turn the tractor around. They don't have a high and low in it, just a torque converter, but it's got the 4 gears in it. They locked out the reverse gear on it so you can go backwards. You've got a weight box here in the back so you could keep pretty good weight out front. This particular machine here goes up about 14.5 feet. They did have another series and I've got another one at home that'll go up 21 feet. It's got a shift where you can shift it back and forth, tilt the cylinder back and forth, and you can go anywhere with them because of the weight on the drive tires. They just really do a good job.
So back in 1964, about when this machine came out, do you think this forklift idea and driving a tractor kind of backwards did it work pretty well?
Well, I think it did, and a lot of these machines, I understand, were used in a lot of the factories that were outside. A lot of people moved wood with them that was outside, things like that. And they could go outside even in the mud and things like that where the other small wheel forklifts couldn't.
Yeah, I imagine this would be a pretty good thing for moving pallets full of things.
Yes, it was, and it's quite maneuverable. The only thing is bad is that back end swings around fast, and you really got to pay attention to where that back end is because it can get you in trouble. We've got a little ouch on the back end of this thing, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's right. You're not really looking where you're backing up to, right?
That's correct. And just about the time you think you can make that swing, that thing swings around and it'll hit something.
Any farm kid that's hit a fence post knows what that's like.
Yes, that's right. But I've got a 11-year-old grandson, well, 12 right now, I guess. But he can run one of these. They're that, a young kid can even operate one. So it's where they aren't hard to run. They've got that good durable little engine in it that starts anytime. It can be zero and that thing will fire right up and go.
And this tractor right here, this I-600, was actually one of the prized possessions of your late friend, the great Gail Schipansky.
Yes, yeah. That's how I acquired it, and I wish it wasn't that way, but yeah, that's how I acquired it. Gail actually brought it down to Elbert City, Iowa, in 2010 to National Gathering down there. He had this thing just spit. Everything was perfect, even the forks, and he had a gentleman stand on the forks, and Gail just came unglued because them forks were just beautiful. Well, they aren't quite as beautiful as they were back then, but he let the guy know he didn't like that standing on it.
He had it all shined up, and this guy stood right there.
Yeah, that's correct. But and Gail wasn't afraid to tell you about it. That's for sure.
And Gail was quite a collector. I mean, he really built out a collection of rare Allis Chalmers tractors, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Down on the end down there, I've got a D19 Beachmaster that I actually acquired from Gail. The next one sitting to it, that's a gas, by the way. The next one sitting to it's a diesel. He was going to have that ready to go for the show. Whenever the family says to me, you think you can get that thing ready for the show? So they sold me the other Beachmaster, the diesel Beachmaster, and I says I'll definitely work on it so I can do that. So
I remember watching Gail drive that Beachmaster around at previous Orange Spectaculars. You got to feel like you're kind of paying tribute to his legacy.
Yeah, it really is, Every time I walk by it, I think of that guy, And we were real close friends. We probably visited twice a week on the phone, and so we knew each other real well. And when I look at him, I think of Gail every time, that's for sure.
And I know you have been to many Orange Spectaculars. This time around, it's the 30th Orange Spectacular. Can you believe how this show has grown over the years? What's your impression?
I tell you, this is my favorite show to go to of all of them. You see just a lot of different things. The people are so nice. It's really about a people thing a lot, but you see a lot of different things. And every year I go home, I think there can't be anything new to see, but there is. Because the next year you come, you'll see something different.
And looking back to this I-600, what's your favorite thing about this tractor? Just the way it sets up? And I mean, you got to get a lot of attention when it comes to a show like this.
This tractor here, it's so maneuverable. It's so handy that on my other one that I got at home, there's hardly a day that I don't use it because it's that handy. It's just a handy piece of equipment. That's the way it is, you know.
Yeah, it's a classic tractor. It's something that's kind of rare, but you get to use it.
Yeah, I tell you, even though it is an old tractor, there's a lot of life left in them. And right now, like I said earlier, my grandson, if I got to have something, he jumps on it. He knows how. It's where a kid can run it, you know. So he runs it as good as I do.
Hey, Charlie, thanks for sharing some of the stories about the I-600 and about this great orange spectacular.
Well, thank you for the interview, and it's all about Gail.
All right. Thanks, Charlie. Charlie Widlund from Palmer, Iowa. He's a longtime member of the Upper Midwest AC Club and a big fan of the Orange Spectacular, paying tribute to his dear friend, the late Gail Schipansky. We really appreciate that you're catching classic tractor fever. If you'd like to see more great tractors, be sure to check out these other classic stories. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep our classic tractor stories rolling.